Hello, my name is Alexander Henny. I'm the great-grandson of Maria Montessori. I'm outraged about the situation in the Ukraine. Think about the Ukraine people and their fate. War is a terrible thing, a man-made atrocity. Maria Montessori shed genuine light on social, political, scientific and religious thought. Universities, organizations and associations in many different countries united in their determination to restructure human society proposed her as a candidate for the Nobel Peace Prize in 1949 and 1950. Order and discipline must be aimed at attainment of human harmony, and any act that hinders the establishment of genuine community of all mankind must be regarded as immoral and a threat to the life of society. The prospect of true peace makes us turn our thoughts to the triumph of justice and love among men, to the building of a better world where harmony reigns. Preventing conflict is the work of politics. Establishing peace is the work of education. We must convince the world of the need for a universal, collective effort to build the foundation for peace. I wish all Ukrainian people strength, courage, and peace soon to come. Thank you.
Dear colleagues, we are at a critical moment in history, facing growing crises of climate change, the war in the Ukraine, and COVID. These crises, and especially now, the war in Ukraine, remind us how interconnected we all are, and how these multiple crises are all interlinked. This moment, more than ever, demands a unified Montessori community. Dr. Montessori advised us that education is the best weapon for peace. Through her work with children of war and trauma, Montessori documented that her method brought healing and recovery to these children. In fact, she envisioned an organization to be called the White Cross that would serve these traumatized children. The Ukraine Montessori Association can help children of Ukraine heal through the application of Montessori principles and repair the ravages of war, so they can discover a world beyond battlefields and know that the Montessori community worldwide supported them. As Montessori educators, we have an enormous opportunity to transform the world and usher in a new beginning, a greater well-being, sustainability, and peace, and especially a new beginning for the children of the Ukraine. Let us unite in service of the children of Ukraine and world peace. Thank you.
I have a very, very long history with Ukraine, and when the Russians invaded, it was like, oh my, this was the one thing the people in the Ukraine shared with us while we were there that they were afraid of, because they'd always been occupied throughout the history by foreign invaders, and they actually feared the Russians more than they feared the Nazis. So here we are, and all I can think of is peace in the area. It's really amazing to me that they have been able to resist as much as they have, and anything that we can do as a collective community to help the Montessori community survive and pray for peace, I would be deeply, deeply privileged to be part of.
Hello from rural, peaceful Western Massachusetts. I would like to offer to Ukraine and everyone in Ukraine a bodhicitta practice. May Ukraine be free from suffering and the root of suffering. May Ukraine experience happiness and the root of happiness. I'd like to offer that same practice to you who's watching this. May you be free from suffering and the root of suffering. May you experience happiness and the root of happiness. and with difficulty, I'd like to offer that same practice to everyone in Russia, the soldiers and the leadership who are contributing to this terrible confusion. May Russia be free from suffering and the root of suffering. May Russia experience happiness and the root of happiness. And may this practice help remove some of the confusion in the world and lead to peace. My best to all of you.
This is a message from South Africa from Montessori Life on behalf of the Montessori schools in South Africa. And we would like to say a little prayer for peace in Ukraine. Peace is very, very important. We need to look deep within our hearts and find everything we have in common and just pray that that will guide us towards peace. So what is important about being peaceful, Georgia? Is it important to fight, or is it better to be peaceful? Peaceful. Is it better to be peaceful? And what do you think? Is it important to be peaceful? Peaceful. I think so too. So here's putting our heartfelt hopes for your country from South Africa. Thank you.
Right now, all over Ukraine, teachers and families are trying to protect their children from the mental wounds inflicted by war. You are doing great work. My wish for you all is one of physical, social, and emotional safety. In the White Cross, Montessori describes the healing power of activity in the children's house, especially for children who experience the effects of war. She noted in particular the healing power of practical life, of being outdoors, and of playing. War robs people of their autonomy, not allowing them to make autonomous decisions about their daily lives. You all have the ability and desire to help children traverse the landscape they see before them with as much autonomy as possible. You will provide them opportunities for them to make decisions about this little part of their lives, giving them a sense of normalcy and security. Thank you all for your work. I wish you peace, and may Ukraine prevail.
I feel that peace is not stagnant, that it is about aliveness and being fully within my life, no matter if it is messy or it is uneasy. And in times of quiet, those moments of choosing, especially of listening more deeply to another and seeing another more clearly and being willing to be seen have brought me to the understanding and experience that we are more alike than we are different.
Light a candle for peace, light a candle for love, light a candle that shines all the way around the world. Light a candle for me, light a candle for you, that our wish for world peace will one day come true. Sing peace around the world, sing peace around the world, sing peace around the world, sing peace around the world.
Hello, my name is Ochiko Prudence Daniels. I'm the founder of Moma Hill Montessori School, Lagos, Nigeria. As a Montessori practitioner, I wake up every day with the pain and yearning to reach out to more children and help their development. To think of children at war or displaced during the time of war, this pain is doubled. I want peace for the people of Ukraine, for all the displaced children and families in Ukraine. And I bring this message of peace to support the Montessori work in Ukraine and the Montessori UA, Anna Velokova of the Montessori UA. Let's all join hands and support the work of these great people and these lovely people and save our world.
We want peace in Ukraine.
As I sit in my safe room, in my safe town in North Carolina and the United States of America, I really reflect on the crisis in Ukraine and the work of the Montessori UA. I see our cosmic task as humans as this work towards seeing the oneness of humanity, in the phrase of the Dalai Lama. Our role and our responsibility as Montessorians is to provide opportunities to the children we have the honor of working with every day, develop peace through their kindness and their compassionate support of one another. Montessori UA exemplifies this cosmic task in the work that they are doing in such a challenging, very upsetting and devastating time. As we support them in any way we can, and as we stay with them in spirit and support their courage and their resistance and their resilience, we can really, I hope, keep in mind our cosmic task on a day-to-day basis as we support teachers that we work with. We support the children that we work with and the families that we work with, one person at a time. Best to you all.
Maria Montessori spoke of the right of humanity to live in peace in the world.
Whole School Leadership Institute supports not only this right, but our responsibility for it and to it.
Our work is a focus on developing healthy Montessori schools where peace is practiced in real ways.
Where dignity and love for each other exists.
We're Montessori communities where everyone, children and adults, have a place to keep on growing and building capacity to be peacemakers.
Where collaboration and connection are fused in positive relationships.
As we celebrate this International Day of Peace, we also celebrate our Montessori friends and colleagues in the Ukraine, and all of those around the world who continue to strive to reach the goal that Montessori had for all of us, which is peace in the world.
I came to Montessori education with the hope and understanding that if we are to create a just and peaceful world, we must do so through our work with children. At the heart of Montessori is the understanding that all things are interconnected and interdependent, manifest through love. In To Educate the Human Potential, Dr. Maria Montessori said, "It is hoped that when this sentiment of love for all subjects can be aroused in children, people in general will become more human and brutal wars will come to an end." It is my hope that our Montessori sisters and brothers, the children and their families, and schools displaced and impacted by the war in Ukraine are buoyed in spirit by this message of peace. The work of Montessori UA offers the global community the ability to contribute directly toward a more hopeful future for Ukraine and as a model of peaceful action for the world. My plea is quite simple. Please take a moment and consider how when we come together, we can co-create a more peaceful and just humanity.
On behalf of the staff and Dr. Aize Sabater, the Executive Director of AMIUSA, we send warm hugs, love, and grace to everyone, compassion to everyone affected by the war in Ukraine, and to all of the Montessorians supporting children, parents, families who have been displaced by this unjust war. Like I say, I am a member of the Mashpee Wampanoag tribe, and as an Indigenous woman, I offer this song by two members of the Wampanoag Nation, singers and dancers. A song that talks about my grandmother, Nukamas. That is a symbol of peace, sacred teachings, a warm embrace, and the return to harmony. By honoring the four directions, the east, the south, the west, and the north, we embrace the whole world. In particular, for this Voices of Peace and International Peace Day, we bring our hearts, our minds together in support of Ukraine and to all children who are displaced and affected by this war. We love you, we honor you. Wanak Yaonkanat, in peace.
Hello, Simone Davis here with a message of peace from the Netherlands and Australia. To our friends who are suffering from the war, our hearts are with you. We are your Montessori global community, and we all know how to do this work with the children, to work in a peaceful way. And to those of us not in a war, we know how to be in peace with others as well and with our environment. So we can be models of peace, we can share that and hope that positive message of peace will come back to war-torn areas and fill the world with a much more positive and peaceful, heartful relationships with others and with Earth.
As Montessori educators, our job is to prepare the environment for the students that fill our classrooms. And as human beings, our job is to prepare the world these students will someday lead. And so each day, as we prepare our schools and ourselves, as we set about guiding children and adolescents in their ongoing transformation and development, we are striving to simultaneously create a safer, healthier, and more just and sustainable future for them. These efforts and the need for them to be actualized are further affirmed as we follow the unfolding news in Ukraine. The American Montessori Society stands in solidarity with the people of Ukraine. You and your children are seen and heard by Montessorians globally, and our hope is that peace, which is fundamental to life, is soon upon all of us.
Without peace in ourselves, in our lives, in our world, in our environment, it's very difficult to feel inspired and feel creative and feel connected. So to all the children and families and Montessorians and teachers and doctors and all the people of Ukraine, Wings, Worms, and Wonder wishes you peace, and I'd like to offer you the Montessori Pledge to the Earth. I promise to be good to the Earth and to all life on this planet, all growing things, all kinds of animals, all races of people. I promise to protect all life on our planet, to live in harmony with nature, and to share everything fairly, so that all people can live with one another in good health and in peace. When our world is equitable, when people have all the things that they need and some of the things that they want, we can all thrive and flourish and help keep our world safe and green and connected. So to everyone in the world and all the families and people in Ukraine, Wings, Worms, and Wonder wishes you peace and sends you love.
You know, I've really been waiting to just offer something that can help you. You as a professional Montessorian, I know you are from various cities here, from the Ukraine, you are from abroad where you are temporarily located, and you were here all week long. And you are so much fun and so insightful. And I also thought, and that's sort of a gift to me, what is it that we hear in the news, what the government, what your country is doing to establish peace and maintain your independence? And I think you gave me some answers. Because when I meet you every day, I know there is pain, I know there is hardship, I know there is sadness, but you come and are present. That's all you need to do. You are present, you're curious, you laugh, you joy, you're inventive, you explore, you invent. That's all Montessori, isn't it? And you adapt. And so this is really, I see, as the root of your country. And so now I understand what we all see on the TV screens. And I'm just so grateful that you could spend the time to learn a little bit about an elemental music and movement approach that you can take with you into your classroom, in the shelters, wherever you are, to your parents. And I just thought when we stopped with the singing games, the last one is actually a canon form or a round, and it is called Dona Nobis Pacem, which is Latin for give us peace. And how fitting is that for the peace that Ukraine needs, that the whole world needs, and that we want to remember during the International Peace Day. I was just wondering if we should close out our week and share the Ukrainian national anthem, singing together.